I recently made a video about 4 astrological placements that are scary, and I was kind of joking and saying if you have 4 of those, don't schedule an astrological reading with me. That was a joke. I was just teasing. I welcome everyone. But the reason why these placements are scary is because if they're being worked in the negative, meaning if the person has not grown, has no self-awareness, has no idea about these energies and how they affect them, and they're just like loosely letting it run the show, it can be very destructive. The first one was Mercury in Aries. The reason for that is because Mercury usually runs with the sun sign. So if somebody has a sun sign of Aries, which is already very impatient, action-oriented, in the negative can be very self-centered in terms of like their best interest is all that they care about. And you mix that up with their communication, also being in Aries, you get someone that can be brash and sensitive, that says things that literally leaves people floored and does not care. So that can be rude, intentionally rude, and intentionally mean-spirited, and they can actually enjoy it and not care how people feel about it. When you're in a managerial position, that can be like something that makes people recoil, but they move on to another job, or they just accept that that's how you are as a manager. But when you're somebody's wife or somebody's mother, that can cause deep emotional wounds. Next one is Capricorn Moon. Capricorn is opposite of Cancer, which is the most sensitive sign. Capricorn Moon in the negative is stoic. It's insensitive. It feels nothing about other people's suffering. It's cold, it's calculating, and it's very sarcastic. Again, in some situations that can be great if that's your mom, or that's your husband, or that's your father, somebody that you have to deal with on an intimate level regularly. That can leave years of an emotional dent in your heart. Capricorn Moon can also hide their feelings behind work and sarcasm, which, isn't very nurturing. If that's your mom, that's probably very hurtful. It's very Machiavellian energy, which isn't very loving and kind. Moving on to Pluto in the 10th house. Pluto, as we know, is a planet of transformation, so it's about things dying and things being reborn. If you have Pluto also in your 10th house, then you should expect a lot of highs and lows in your career. It's not unusual for these people to experience extreme situations in their career, like could be homeless, then becomes like a billionaire, then loses all their billions and ends up in prison. You get my point. It's a lot of highs and a lot of lows in one's career. And because the 10th house also rules your public image, sometimes it's the public embarrassment that comes with that, right along with all of the highs and lows. And then lastly, Mars in Scorpio. Oh my God, Scorpio is already a fighter in and of itself. And when you put that Mars energy, which is already Scorpion's energy where they're comfortable, then yeah, you get a very vicious person that's violent and very uncaring and cold and mean.